dot of light right here. It ain't.
We live. Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, that dot is coming from outside. But this is the first episode of Stay in Your Lane podcast with P and Carl. So, you all right, man?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, we live now. So,
yeah, what's up, man? Welcome to Stay in the Lane. First episode, me and the big homie. We're gonna bring y'all some of social commentary and pretty much stay in our lane, keep it 100. Let y'all know how we view things, from our perspective. Today we got a good one for y'all. I'm gonna let P do the introductions.
well, we talking Charleston White because Shannon Sharpe got into some hot water the other day. Hot water.
Not my feet burning.
A young thing basically came out saying he did some things that he shouldn't have thang.
She sound like her back still messed up, huh?
Man. But you know what? From what I believe, well, I shouldn't say what I believe, allegedly is that they had a weird situation, a weird relationship, and it was something that was okay until it wasn't okay anymore.
Right.
What changed, we don't know. We're not here to figure out what happened. We're just here to bring y'all the news, spark some conversation about it, and hopefully get a couple of comments from y'all because I'm here to piss somebody off today.
Bro, the internet on fire.
Charleston White goes off on Shannon Sharpe over $50 million lawsuit. We got a video.
Another commentary. So let's see what Uncle Charlton got to say.
And this is coming from On Point Stories podcast. Make sure y'all go over there, check them out.
Yeah, man. On Point be bringing y'all the real game. So support. Shout out to On Point.
So what's your whole? Because listen, this whole Shannon thing is definitely sweeping through the airways. Because since Shannon left Skip, what is it? 2 years now. He's been on an uptick. And people's been throwing darts at him. This ain't the first one.
He's been Teflon Shay for a minute.
They've been throwing things at him, but he's been hitting them with the okie doke, just side. So now it's like, I'm not sure if this one's gonna hit.
I don't know,
but it's out there and it's a big talk. So, how do you feel about this whole Shannon Sharpe situation? Because this is the first pod we're doing. I haven't really heard your whole context and spiel on it. So let me know what you think about that.
Pretty much, man. I think Unc fumbled the bag, man. Because Unc is
the one that fumbled the bag.
Yeah, man. I think Unc fumbled the bag. Pardon the pun, but he a tight end, bro. He know better. He lived it. Prime said it one time. No means no. He makes sure his boys say that. That's ingrained in every male athlete, especially the prominent athletes. He should definitely have some perspective. I mean, he's a well-traveled man. So, considering what he says in the community versus what's being alleged of him, man, that's night and day, man. That's the Shay that his grandmama won't be seen as one of the proudest moments. It might be one of them lessons he talks about, And this one hitting hard, man. I don't know if he can come back from this.
Well, me personally, I listen to a lot of the different perspectives on what happened to them. Basically, they had a weird relationship. This was a different dynamics that we're all used to. This was something that they both agreed on. That was okay till it wasn't.
You mean like some submissive type, like?
Yes. They
power tripping.
Yeah, their relationship was different from the norm. I believe, and I think that a lot of people look at it as a regular heterosexual relationship, and people are looking at it as an old man taking advantage of a young woman, and some people are looking at it as a young woman taking advantage of an old man, depending on what side you're on. And there are people in the middle that just be like, "Yo, why don't y'all mind y'all business?"
Man,
you know what I'm saying? However, the way everything went down. Yes, I don't believe Shannon should have got himself in this situation. But I am not on the side of saying Shannon is guilty. 100% on
Yeah.
this topic. Me personally.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just here to bring the stuff, spark the conversation. Y'all can kill me in the comments. I don't care. I don't care.
Put them in the comments. Get them. You got my permission.
Not literally,
in the
but
comments.
But I mean, and y'all want to keep it respectful. You know,
Yeah,
if you listen to an artist like Kendrick Lamar, he can basically humiliate me without saying F you. He can humiliate me without saying certain things. He can say it very respectable. And it
man, you're giving the internet a lot of credit, man.
Yeah. So drop your poetry down there that's going to humiliate me and make me cry on this pod.
I got to see this because I'm looking forward to reading them, bro. I'm going to take them for next show and we'll read them out. And get me too.
We're going to start reading the comments.
We're going to start reading some of these comments because, the internet is ruthless, bro. Ruthless. Anyway, man. So seemed to have himself in a noose, a bit of a tith. It's probably a lot more complicated than that because from a business standpoint, I mean, Stephen A wasn't too pleased the other night, man. He didn't sound too.
I think Stephen A needs to stay in his lane. That's what we are.
Stephen A been in his lane, man.
Hey,
his show says it what? No mercy.
I believe Stephen A is in a tough position.
Yeah,
I believe he's in a tough position.
Yeah, he is.
Because he was the one that brought Shannon into ESPN.
Right. He vouched for him.
And not only that, they're very close friends as well. So that also puts another strain on his judgment on a lot of things that, because at the end of the day, we all have different relationships. You can have the weirdest relationship. We don't care. But the minute it goes sideways and hit the public, you screwed up, as you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and it doesn't matter if you were right 100%.
Right.
This is something as a grown person, you should have control over. So there's a lot of people that look at things like, okay, if all of a sudden different allegations are coming out, people in the like, I may look at it and it says, oh, it's all right, it's cool, whatever. But whoever's fitting the bill up front, they don't want that type of, you know what I'm saying? Right. So when they're looking at from a business point of view.
Right. So from a cultural standpoint, there's many perspectives, right? So lots of people will say,
so let me ask you this. Do you think the culture accepts this?
A certain aspect of our culture, unfortunately or fortunately, do accept it. They're cool with it. It's probably some people's lifestyle. They engage in these types of weird to us, culturally speaking, type of relationships. But you never know what people have going on. By no means are we on this show okay with the allegations that are being made. We're not okay with that on this show. Just so we're clear, we respect women, and we also know that there's a motive behind every situation, such as when situations like these, because unfortunately, our culture is materialistic. Everyone sues you for different things. It might just be just to get a leg up, right? They see Unc might be the bag. I mean, that's the angle. It appears as though they're gonna go. They're gonna go with, right? She trying to get the bag, so he's like, "This is a shakedown." Unfortunately, the counter argument to that would be, well, why the $10 million offer? Right? What's your perspective?
But here's the other thing too. Why didn't they file a criminal lawsuit?
That part. That should be a bar, right? I think that's the bar today, man. Why didn't it go criminal?
That's the same thing with the Jay-Z situation. That's what happened when Jay was like, why are you filing? Because if you're going straight for the money,
right,
it looks like it's either you set me up,
right,
and you're okay with what you did.
Right, make you look a certain way in public.
Right, because if you truly believe something happened, you can win both cases easy. Right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, I don't want to bring up the OJ situation, but after OJ, who had won his case but lost the other case.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And they got him monetarily if they couldn't get him criminally.
Right. So she can win both later, but once the allegation's there,
right,
and you win that, the defamation stuff is easy to say, hey, I was fat. Boom, they're gonna clear that. But the fact that she came with 50 mil,
they want it,
tells us that it is a money grab.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fact, like you just said, they try to settle.
Right.
But
it's been alleged there that they try to.
Exactly. It has been alleged. But the way I look at it is like, this is going to be a case where is he said, she said. And it's going to be hard to believe because I'm not sure if you've read a lot of the things inside of this case, because I'll have to send you a couple of different videos and stuff to check out where they actually peel back and read like messages, text messages. Yes. And once you read those, you'll realize they had a very different dynamic of relationship.
Apparently, and that's what Uncle was saying. He was like, pretty much, if he had the audio, he would release the whole thing.
Right. Basically, I believe that will be released.
Release it, and he's saying that Busby allegedly knows that's not what happened and is being taken out of context, and it appears to be edited. So it looks as though, from his perspective, Uncle's perspective, that they're trying to paint him a certain way, which he said he's alleging he's not.
Of course.
Right? And we believe everyone is innocent until proven guilty. However, the optics is terrible. You know, he represents like one of the premier companies in the nation. Like, you know, Disney is more than a household name. They built on family. And so they're, you know, I'm sure that conversation with Stephen A. and the bosses was very uncomfortable. Like, yo, you brought him here, you're gonna have to take him out. Because I believe Stephen A. gonna have to have that uncomfortable walk towards the elevator with the white box, bro.
So what do you think he gets
canned? Standpoint is bad for business, right?
You think he gets canned for this?
So put up a poll, man, on a scale. Oh, yeah, put up a poll on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, like you get canned. How likely is he to be done with ESPN?
I don't think I could put up a poll with this shit. I'm not even sure how to put it in.
Oh, I think they should be able to vote on something.
But no, inside of StreamYard.
Oh, okay. So, but if we did have the ability to,
what I'll do is I'll put up a community post.
Yeah.
And in the community post, just make sure you log it down. So remember once we get off stream. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times, just remember to write it, mm-hmm. and I'll make a community post.
Oh, okay.
That will come up with this channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll do a community post.
Man.
I'm here trying to let me switch this up. But yeah, let's get into the video. I'm trying to find this.
How likely is Shannon to get canned for this? Right, how likely? Like I think from a corporate standpoint, man, because believe it or not, it might be a sports show to us, but it's big business for ESPN, for Disney. That's
well, it's not just ESPN because I think Club Shay Shay's also has big sponsors as well.
Right, that too. So that's his side brand, right? So they all representing sponsorships and affiliations through their relationship. Like, you know, Stephen A. brand might be affiliated with Club Shay Shay brand simply because they work together.
True.
So if he is tainted in any way from a business standpoint, they stock drop because, you know, I mean, my mom used to always say now, you know, Shay Shay had grandma, I got my mama. She said, you know, birds with a feather gonna flock together. And that's been beat into people's heads for so long, they're gonna lump them all in the same boat. Well, who's the thing?
They don't really care.
Who's the thing, Stephen A. ain't like that. And Disney don't want that. That's bad for business. They're like, you know what? Our stock ticked down 2 more points. Well, Shannon.
Well,
they're gonna bring him in the office to the big conference table and put a quarter on that shit. Shannon.
Well, here's the thing. It's a lot of people pissed off.
Of course, it's disappointing too.
Every time people get upset, you got to wonder, why are they really upset? Because there's a lot of smoke and mirrors out there with everything that we think about to do.
Yeah.
Because so did they lose money? You know, because every time money is lost, people get pissed off.
Bro, but why it gotta be over a snow bunny though, bro?
It doesn't. Well, here's the thing. It's made to believe it's a snow bunny, but a lot of times things are covered up.
That part right there, bro. That part right there, bro.
It's like, yo, there's so much things going on that's happening so fast around us.
Yeah.
And then weeks later, you'd be like, oh man, I ain't see that shit coming. Yeah, it was right there the whole time.
Right. Hey, it's like, I mean,
so
something like that.
We
man,
we got more people that's pissed off, man.
Yeah.
And
man.
Charleston White's added to the list. Now, Charleston,
he got no filter, bro. He ruthless.
Sometimes he says some good positive things, you know.
Yeah, he does. He definitely says some stuff that made me tear up, and then some stuff that made me want to hate him. And like, yo, Charleston, if I see you, bro, I'm gonna see you, bro. And then you can't be giving these people so much information, Charlton. You doing like them dudes do up at that podcast, Charlton. You giving up too much game, Charlton.
Let's see what he got to say. I'm gonna run it for a little bit.
Maybe this unk is a little lame. I'm the unk with the game. You say you won't even get on the elevator with a woman by yourself. How you at the gym and you let this
click like? In this video, Charleston White goes off on Shannon Sharpe. Before we get into this one, sometimes Charleston speaks the truth. Other times he's super disrespectful and crossing lines. You never quite know which one you'll get. This is one of those times. But let's hear what he has to say about the situation. Before we get to that, let's look at the real reason Charleston is going off on Shannon Sharpe. But before we get to that, let's look back at a little bit of the history between Shannon and Charleston. This might help explain why Charleston decided to go off.
Shannon Sharpe, he really don't like me.
Well, yeah, Ocho brought your name up a couple times.
Yeah. Shannon really don't like me.
You know what?
I done call all the football players, man, big old dumb stupid ass. You know, so I done offended and insulted everybody. Yeah. But you gotta understand, homie. I done said some horrible things about Dion and the boys.
You think?
Just an alumni.
Yeah, that's why.
So they're probably gonna tackle him if they see him in public. Like Charlton, he gonna just sneak up on from the blind side. He gonna be like, Money Mike, you just gonna take it, I should do. Take it off me like that. I poke it, Shador. I poke it. I promise I'll poke it.
You think, well, it won't be a bad thing. But
Charlton is not poking nobody. He gonna pick up that 1967 flip phone and I need the law, damn it. These niggas done tackling the fuck out of me. This nigga done lost his mind. He done taken on the fat boy.
You think I don't know. I think Dion would get Charleston.
I don't know. I think Shador might pick up a rock and sling it at his head or something, man.
They like the rock throwing contest.
He might imagine the Pro Bowl every time he see this guy, man. Sling some laser beams downfield at him. He said some trash about him. And Prime let that slide, bro. Charlton, stop playing, man. You capping, bro. Nah, he definitely speaks his mind, man. But as far as what I think the guys like Prime and Shador, them they see that as part of the job, man. That stuff, them dudes is like Teflon. They use that and it's motivation.
But he ain't really say why he
didn't say
why they beefing.
He didn't really he said he talked a lot of trash about him, but they never really react to him that much. They don't really say much about him, so it must not be a beef in the sense that we think they probably don't like each other. Like I don't mess with this guy. You know what I mean? This guy right here is not somebody who's on my favorite list. So as far as like, I don't remember any viral incidents like him going after Prime or Shador and other than cultural stuff. Man, it never seen it got personal.
Yeah, let's see what else he gets into.
I said some horrible things about, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
this an alumni.
Yeah, that's why.
I said some horrible things about Dion is the modern day Bill Cosby and them boys is Theo Huxtable and yeah, man. He's the
boss.
Yo, did he just say
bro, that's a nuke. He said Prime is the
It's
how
Bill
close
Cosby
you
and the
to
boys
my daughter.
are
That's what I
Theo
heard.
and them. Theo and them.
Charlton, how close were you to the pudding, Charlton?
Charleston can't see that side, man.
Charlton,
He don't even know what color the
pudding
pudding
pop,
is.
Charlton? The Jello pudding pop, Charlton.
Yo, that is
Charlton don't
crazy,
know.
yo. That
Charlton.
is crazy to think about.
I think that was some shock value from Charlton, man, because Prime and Cosby don't got nothing other than Prime popular. Like Cosby was popular, but then
So, what part of Cosby you think he's digging at?
maybe the comedic, humorous side, because Prime do drop some, say some humorous stuff, but
Yeah, but he don't like Prime, so he's basically trying to hate on him.
right. So right now, Cosby's most prominent for all the string of allegations that was levied against him and got him locked up. So when we think of Cosby, we're not thinking of the cheerful comedian that made America laugh for so many years. We're thinking about Cosby as of recent memory. He's known for some stuff that no man worth his soul would like to be affiliated with.
Mhm.
Right?
Yep.
So with that being said, it's like it can go both ways. But to me, I think he might be leaning at that side of it without saying anything. I think it is.
I know, that's what I'm saying, because he basically tries to say that he's Huxtable and he's Theo in them.
Yeah.
In what reference? Like,
yeah.
Oh.
But Theo and them dudes turn out to be great. I mean, Malcolm Jamal.
but okay, not that it didn't turn out to be great, but what it does. Here's what happens. It puts that narrative in your mind because we know where Bill Cosby is today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And he wasn't that to us back in the day. Right? Because he was the father that everyone who never had a model for a father.
Right. But what he turned out to be was a fraud. But what he turned out to be was kind of a fraud.
Right. Well,
you know what I'm saying? So is that what he's calling Dion a fraud?
You know what I mean? In other words, yeah. Is he trying to say that Prime?
Yeah, because he's digging at him. He's digging.
Yeah.
That ain't no compliment. If it is, it's a backhanded one.
That's a haymaker. That's one of them.
If that's a compliment, that's a backhanded one if I ever seen.
So I think he trying to get himself in the conversation and dig at Prime and get some shots taken at him. But because I mean, you gonna levy him with being crazy.
You basically saying he wants some smoke.
I mean, or some quays. I mean, Charlton boy, you want some quays, boy? Stop playing, bro. You might be going down to what was the famous highway in Houston? You might be sliding down the highway with the Pinto, bro. Hangover 3, Hangover 4 featuring Charleston. It might be an ugly day, man.
It might be an ugly day.
Don't wake up Prime, bro. Don't let Prime come after you, Charlton. That was kind of low. He said you Cosby in him.
Yo, is anybody taking Charleston White serious?
I doubt it. On this issue, I think that's Charlton doing the shock value. His version of shock value. Get you to listen, then he tell you what he's really wanting to speak about. In this case, it sounds like he's more interested in talking about Shannon.
Yeah, for sure.
He's gonna like football players, man. And as far as I guess for some of the stuff they do and have gotten into over the years, too many to name. But they don't get in trouble more than any other athlete. I mean, it's the individual, not necessarily the sport they play. But it's easy to say that because football is aggressive sports, a gladiator sport. So you might
yeah,
in the news media for different things that it's completely opposite to football, and most of it is not good. So the NFL handles that stuff expeditiously. You tarnish the shield, and you will find yourself unemployed and blackballed.
Bullshit.
I mean, if you were star, you might get a little bit of leeway. Until they found out it was horrible, and then you got owners saying that's the most disgusting stuff I've ever seen or heard in my life. Imagine what his former owner's saying.
Who's former owner?
the Broncos. Imagine if the Broncos owner had to go give him his Hall of Fame speech right now in this moment. Would he take that phone call? So remember when we played football, right? Hodge used to be like, everybody gonna go pro in the game of life, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't want us being a garbage man. Not because a garbage man is a dishonorable job, it's because he ain't want you to shovel shit for a living, had to take shit from people.
Yo, that's one of the best jobs to have.
Right, but when he talk with a garbage man from that perspective, he wants you to, be the best man you can.
Sanitation, run the world.
Sanitation, run the world, buddy. Waste management.
Yo.
WM if you into stocks.
All these cats got money.
Red, they bought the dip.
Bruh.
Anyway, so
let niggas don't pick up the garbage for 2 weeks.
Well, assholes are like opinions. Everybody's got them.
New York City found that back out in the 80s.
Yo, what's the city? What city is going through that right now? I think England, Birmingham in England is going through that. They call it the blue strikes.
They're trying to underpay these people.
Bro, right now, they got rats bigger than the size of little small cats, bro, running around England. Trash on the sidewalk up for weeks, and it's a big deal. So, it's an emergency. It's crazy.
Let's get back to Charleston.
Anyway,
modern day of that.
Cause it'll be messing up his.
This is the Fresh Prince and Bel-Air family. Will and Carlton, this is who we, so we idolize this family. Dion is the ideal father in the black community. This is
Shannon Sharpe, my colleague at ESPN, and my friend, the Hall of Fame tight end.
So wait, before we get to this, right?
By a woman proceeding.
Before we get to this, I thought he was going to diss him, but he said when he said the Cosbys, he wasn't going after the linking him to the side of Cosby that we know of lately. He's linking him to that positive dad, that no nonsense dad, the upright, straight character that every black kid trying to be right now, especially if you're an athlete. He's talking to that side of Cosby, the leader, the strong dad, the prominent man in the community, so to speak. So that's what he said. That's what he was alluding to in the end.
All right.
So with that said, he's saying Coach Prime is one of those types of guys in our present culture, which you could say is true. I mean, he has his own issues, but as far as his persona is, he's somebody who people very much aspire to be like. Or you would want your kid, anybody you associate with, to want to be like Prime. Confident. Execute, expect the best from yourself before you expect it from others type stuff. Like he doesn't just talk it, he walks it. So I see where Charleston coming from.
That's definitely true.
Yeah. So let's carry on with the rest of it.
Now we got Stephen A, who we talked about earlier, is basically his boss.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he took a big chance on him, bringing him in after,
Well, I mean, he's a shark. Think about it. That's a calculated move. So
yeah. It's not like Shannon didn't earn it or deserve it.
Right. Does. I mean, he said he'd be a fool not, but he did it in such a public way. So if it comes down to Shannon getting the white box in the elevator and that uncomfortable conversation to the front door, guess who got to do it? Right. That part. All right. So yeah, let him.
All right.
The Hall of Fame tight end was sued on Sunday by a woman proceeding under the name Jane Doe pseudonym. The 13-page civil complaint filed in Nevada alleges that Sharpe committed assault, sexual assault, battery, and sexual battery. The plaintiff alleges Sharpe sexually assaulted her several times at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025. The suit also alleges that Shannon engaged in the intentional infliction of emotional distress.
Wow.
It should be noted that the suit was filed by attorney Tony Busby. This is the same attorney that filed a suit against Jay-Z and P. Diddy, alleging they both sexually assaulted a minor, which has since been withdrawn. Jay-Z also has countersued Busby. By the way, the plaintiff in the Sharpe civil suit is not the woman heard in the accidental Instagram live stream incident that made headlines last September last year.
Hold up. So it sounds as though the incident, you know, when Unc had his famous entanglement.
Mm-hmm.
She
was there.
Oh, my Michelle.
She was there.
When Unc was buckling on IG Live.
I mean,
she was in the picture. So in other words, it sounds as though she caught feelings because she thought she was the main one calling him Zaddy.
Yeah.
She felt like, you know, the Michelle thing pushed her over the edge. So she decided, well, you know, all right, so no more 10 million. No, I'm not feeling sorry for him. 50 million. 50 million, 5. 50 million.
Like I said, the more and more you're going to listen to this case, you're going to start realizing that it's going to be something that's hard to prove. So he's more the lineup. Okay, let's settle on something. But here's the question. Are they still playing those daddy games? Right? You got to kind of think about it. Right?
Look, man, with them tight end hands, there's nothing he can't, you know, get his hands around, so to speak, bro.
Have you ever met one that don't like that?
Bro, all I know is I don't like you. You know,
I'm just saying. Have you met one that didn't like that?
Bro, I mean, he got them Donkey Kong fingers, bro. That's a lot of.
Hey, yeah, he caught a lot of touchdowns for sure.
Bro, he in the Hall of Fame, legendary with choking the.
But it's just to me, I don't think that we need to. I think we need to gather way more information before we start. Because usually I'm on the side. Always on the side of the accuser. Always.
Right.
But like I said, this dynamic of a relationship is very different than normal relationships people know to be of. So if you go and listen to these text messages and the calls and everything they have, and you can see and hear it, you don't know if the switch is on, the switch is off, bro. You know. But
I don't know, man. But how
I don't think he's gonna come out of this totally unscathed.
Hey, if you watch The Wire, remember Marlo?
Yeah.
Movies now.
Yeah, I remember Marlo.
Remember he had that line when he found out they had the little camera watching them and joint the little in the alley. He's like, yeah, niggas making movies now.
Oh yeah.
Right.
They took. Go ahead.
So it's in our culture. You should know that you high profile individuals.
Yeah, but nobody expects something to go sideways.
Oh, but that didn't sound so. It looks sideways. I mean, okay, you 52, she 19. That's sideways. You understand? Right?
Yeah, but that's not in their mindset when it starts.
For some people, but I mean, Unc was like, you know, young, fresh, and green, homie. Unc ready to go. So he probably didn't smell the fact that she may have other bags in her hand, thinking like, you know, okay, I got these bags from Unc, and I'm looking for the $100 million bag or the $50 million bag.
Well, nah, I don't think it was like that. Like, I think they really have a good relationship, but somewhere along the line, it went sideways.
You great friends with 10 million to go away,
yeah.
Bro.
And that's what I'm saying. It went totally sideways, and
from a business standpoint,
I'm not saying she's not telling the truth, because obviously we're here at a lawsuit. I'm sorry, go ahead.
My bad. Is it possible that he wants to he wanted it to go away in lieu of the alleged $100 million bag coming? He just wanted that to stay out of the spotlight just long enough?
I don't know.
Possible because he offered that to make it go away. Is it because you're guilty or you want it to go away? Either way, it doesn't look good. You understand?
So you basically saying because he
made an offer,
he tried to settle.
It appears as though he's compromised in some way, shape, or form.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that.
Remember $1 Million Man from a certain flexing show he grew up with, dudes was wrestling? He said, well, everybody's got a what?
I'm also looking at it like this.
Everybody's got a price.
They understand. Yeah, they got a price for sure.
And more than 10 million was too much for Unc to bear. He's like, y'all got to shame me in public then.
So is 10 mil still too much to give up if you're innocent?
I thought it was worth 10 mil to make the problem go away. So what don't you want the public to know that when it got higher than 10 mil, it was like, well, fuck it.
Let me ask you this. Is 10 mil enough to make that go away? Do you think it should have been enough? I mean, we don't know what's really going on. I'm just saying from you think about it, like
who never had, let's say anybody who never had 10 mil, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it's about the bag, 10 mil is a big bag where if you get that bag, you ain't never got to work again.
Exactly.
You could have took that and ran off. However, if you got to axe the grind, let's say allegedly a woman scorned, she want a bag, like, nah, I want you to burn. It's like the Joker. He didn't want the money. He just want to watch it burn.
Yo,
right? So if these allegations are true, then there are no winners here. So is she going for the impossible? Is she going for the ceiling, the roof? She won it all. Either way, they both done in the public eye. It's going to get ugly.
I don't think so.
I think so. I don't think this one is going to go away.
Well, she's not in the public eye.
Well, he put her out there. Wait.
He's kind of exposed her, but she's a Jane Doe.
He might have gotten 10 million overnight, right?
But how much has he lost? He could have lost that 10 million as well,
bro.
Do you still think that $100 million deal is valid?
I don't think so. I think from a corporate standpoint, this is not the first soiree, so to speak. This ain't the first nightcap.
For real. Well, let's
the first nightcap.
Stephen A. is hear what he says because Charleston's a hater, so he's gonna do what he's gonna do.
Right.
In response to the suit, Shannon and his legal team went to social media yesterday and released a series of allegedly sexually explicit text messages between him and the Jane Doe. In addition to that, they issued the following statement, quote, filed by Gabriella Zuniga and orchestrated by her attorney, Tony Busby, is a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions.
The buzzword keep coming up. That's just that buzzing in my ear that the Macho Man once talked about. That buzzing, that buzzword.
So this is one of the things that I brought up when it comes to
about this guy. He's linked to so many celebrity, allegedly. The downward, man. They do this and you're down, right?
Hey, do you know that Busby also did the Deshaun Watson case?
Exactly.
He was the one that represented all those women.
Shannon Sharpe said the Shay word, man. He said they tried to go down or take him down. So he allegedly said they're trying to take him down. So he's linking, Busby is linked to a past where people have made allegations that turned out to be false.
Well, there's trust issues when it comes to Busby.
Right.
Trust issues.
However, he is a lawyer at the end of the day. There must be some type of angle he's playing here.
Yeah.
Right.
But because of the last situation with Jay and Diddy, he's stained right now.
Right. And it must be a great angle because that angle got him off of.
Here is my question, because this is something I thought about. Why this client could have went with any lawyer in the world, including somebody that's brand new. If they had done that,
right,
this lawsuit to me would have hit a lot harder.
A lot harder.
Once you hear Busby, you're like, oh man,
right,
another shit. You know what I'm saying? Once you hear Busby, you kind of like, well, and you start scratching. And why didn't they file a criminal lawsuit?
Because a certain big name celebrity is also wants 20 mil from Busby as a countersuit. Is seeking 20 mil as a countersuit because he allegedly lost $20 million behind Busby doing the buzzword right now.
Okay. Hold on. Let's back up to what you just said. So $20 million saved his life.
Allegedly, bro.
20 million, right? So Shannon was giving this chick 10 million. So right. 10 million ain't enough.
10 ain't enough. If 10 ain't enough. Woo!
So, but here's the thing, right? She want 50 mil, right? Listen, you listening? She want 50 mil, right? But the feds won't take 50 mil from Diddy. Just stay out of prison.
Boy, the irony. You see what I mean, bro? I just can't wrap my head.
So every situation has a different price, of course.
Different price, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody's got a price.
How do you think, what is, you know what? Google what Shannon Sharpe's network. Google his network. See what he's worth.
His net worth?
Because to me, I don't think Shannon Sharpe got 50 million. He could have 50 million.
Probably, man. You never know.
But if he was possibly going to sign this deal.
20 mil.
Huh?
Probably 20 mil.
If I had to guess, I'd say 30. But it could be less.
The valuation of this company all depends on how much
I don't think he's had a lot of money recently. When he came up through the leagues, he had money, but his
13 million, I think is so he's worth about 3 million right now.
See, so that's what I'm saying. He ain't got a shitload of money. So why would you sue him for 50 million? Where's that coming from?
It was about to come. He had his hand in the
because of the $100 million deal?
Huh?
Was that because of the $100 million deal he was potentially going to sign? And if you allegedly know he's going to sign that deal, why not let him sign the deal first and then sue him? If you sue him before, you fuck up the goddamn
your money. Mess up your money. Right?
You pissing the pot. And the pot is down on the floor because I don't want anything.
So
that's why you eat from people's
this is a money play. If this is a money play, they tank the stock. They just tank the stock, which is
exactly. They played the wrong hand.
Allegedly, Unc got 3 pennies to rub together, man. He not 50.
Right. So if he's worth 3 million, and that stuff could be off too.
And that could be off.
Because here's the thing:
random arbitrary number.
He's an old school dude. He's got cash.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he's got cash on hand, like mattresses and shit.
He's old school, right?
He ain't got nothing in no bank. And them dudes move. Athletes move differently. You know that.
Yeah.
And they move to a different space.
He was a savvy athlete.
But he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. He ain't all you.
Bro, once you meet the Hall of Fame, it doesn't matter. You're a Hall of Famer. That's all you got to say. You ain't got to say nothing else.
Yeah.
I'm an effing Hall of Fame, Skip.
Hold on, man. Let me massage my hands, man. My hands feel a little, they not loose. I can't get my hands around nothing, man. They twitching. Man, massage your hands. Relax, buddy.
Is that Unc got a massager to choke these chicks out?
I'm telling you, I didn't know you was Indian, What tribe are you, Slap a hoe tribe. I figured.
Hey, he ain't coming after me.
Hey, please don't slap me when you see me,
Yo.
Entertainment purposes only,
You slap the shit out of you.
Do not lay the King Kong fingers on me, pause. Because you're gonna get tired long before you can catch me, I'll be out of here.
Yo, this dude.
Like people, stop playing. Stop, why you playing, He got to get out of the car like a big back gorilla.
Ooh.
You ain't catching me, bro.
Silverback?
Yeah. Some shit like that, man.
Yeah, the silverback. That's like one of the fiercest gorillas out there.
King Kong fingers, bro. I don't know, You're gonna need them hands,
Yeah, because right now, Charleston White going in on him. So
yeah, bro.
Let's see.
He's really giving them the washing right now.
He trying. He definitely trying. I ain't gonna lie.
Of dollars. It is filled with lies, distortions, and misrepresentations, and it will not succeed, end quote. Then earlier today, Jane Doe's attorney, Tony Busby, sent TMZ Sports a 1 minute and 36-second clip of an alleged conversation between his client and Shannon. In response to that clip, Shannon Sharpe went back to social media and issued this response. Take a look.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do.
Hold on, y'all. Well, y'all know.
Bruh. Let's say he worth 3. And they hit him with a $50 million nut, bro. Ooh.
That's like the Bobby Bonilla deal with the Mets.
Bro. Bobby, oh wow.
He'll be paying that deal to you too. And that's what I'm saying. Like, what's the 50 million? Where did that come from? Because he's not worth 3.
Shyster, bro.
That's like they trying to get, like, they want to empty the tank a few times.
A few times, bro.
A few times, because
you want that I ain't even gonna work again money.
And here's the thing.
Because
the fact that a lawyer will say, yeah, this is a good idea. This will scare him. And that's what I'm wondering. Is it just a scare tactic? Because that's a high number.
That's a high number.
Okay. This number is something you hit corporations with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not a person.
Shay Media, man. You know, Shay Media is it might be worth something.
Now, here's the thing that if you remember when this whole Diddy allegation things happened and he came out with 100 or so clients, so how many of them there were? They went after companies, those lawsuits that, like hotels and all places like that. So I'm wondering if that's what his intentions are with this case with Shannon, where he's not specifically going after Shannon, but he may try to sue a couple of his sponsors that might have even rented a hotel room where he stayed, where they met. Right. You know what I'm saying? And this is where the sneakiness comes in. And he tried to do that. So now, if he's going after investors and places like that, that's what's going to kill him from inside. Right. Because
you know what I mean? From a business standpoint, man, they're not going to want to touch that with a 10-foot pole, bro.
No.
I mean,
because now they're in the crosshairs. Right. Or there are people and certain people out there where you don't ever find out who the sponsors are. And they take the blunt and they fight it and they win. There's a lot of people like, but for some reason I don't see Shannon like that. Right. I see him just sitting back and let it play out.
Yeah, I think so, man. He for him, his best bet is just stay out of the public eye for right now, man, because it's just gonna keep raising more questions and more clips and more nonsense. And eventually it's gonna become where he might become untouchable, unusable. And he need to stop opening his mouth, to be honest, man. His PR people should definitely take a look at that statement, because any lawyer worth his soul will pick that apart.
That's one thing that I also thought about, because when Stephen A was reading it up in there, and he was basically saying that he took it to social media, whatever. Why are you posting? why are you, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you asked me this question. You actually sent me a private chat earlier.
Yeah.
And you asked me this. It's 2025, bro. Anything is possible.
Right.
There's not a word called no anymore. Remember that movie Yes Man?
Yeah.
We're in that time now where anything is possible.
Anything is possible, man. They can spin
Anything
the narrative on
somebody say
you.
to me, it could be the most off the wall shit. And I'd be like, I kind of want to believe what he just said. Yep.
I mean, to survive an allegation like this, bro, you're gonna need a heck of a PR campaign, because either way, man, you're gonna be damaged goods. If you was willing to pay 10 to make it disappear, it must be some pretty, questionable things in those commentaries. And
not necessarily, because here's the way I look at it. I look at it like this. Once she went to a lawyer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shannon realizes that this is the case he cannot win, because he said, she said, he said, she said. It's just going to be back and forth, and who's more believable was going to win the case. So he already knows that.
Believe her, but he's had a lot more to lose than she does.
Huh?
He has a lot more to lose than she does. He's a lot more at stake. He's a public figure.
Of course, but we forget about that. We're already past all the shit. Now we in the room, because what's done is done. We ain't going back. Now we here. You're gonna lose some shit because you did some bad shit.
Right.
I ain't do nothing. Well, you were involved. You were there.
Right.
So I'm gonna just give you a fine for this. But but the other stuff that you were doing when you were there, we got no doing it. You know what I mean? So you're looking at one of these situations when you're like, okay, I know I didn't do anything wrong, but if I can make this go away, it would be better if we go to court, because if you go to court, she's more likely to win, because you can't prove what was there unless she has video of things which she say, I don't, and he does that.
Right.
Then you can say, oh, this is video of that, but it's going to be he said, she said.
True.
You know? So I think up front he understood.
Right.
I can't, if this case goes to court and she has a legit lawyer, I could lose this case, regardless if I'm telling the truth or not. So why not try to settle? But my question is, are they suing for 50 to get 10, or are they suing to 50 to get 40? Because if he's worth $3 million, and that's his network, either she knows some stuff that he's hiding things that, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I just don't understand. Like I said, these are usually corporation type shit.
Hold on. She knows some things. All right, so wait. Let me clue you into something. 1 second.
Yeah, this cat go. So let me know down in the comments, y'all, how y'all feel about this Charleston White situation.
So if she knows something, is it possible that, he was talking about some things?
Well, you know that if you think about it, that's man's greatest downfall. Pillow talk.
This? Boy, a lot of conversations happen around here.
Yeah, that's man's greatest downfall. How you think Drake lost the beef? Yo, I'm dead serious.
I can't with you, bro. I can't.
Yo,
bro.
the chick that told Pusha the shit was banging 40.
Bro, I can't.
Yo, I'm telling you, bro. Pillow talk done took a lot of niggas out.
One of these, bro.
Yo, you remember on The Sopranos? When fucking took out the guy and he left Chris when he was banging he was banging what's the name? Yeah, and he was hanging out and she was, I don't like the Chris dude. Chris is a good kid though. Yeah. Man, pillow talk, man, done cost a lot of shit.
A lot of shit, bro.
And that's what it comes down to. So you think he done, and you know what? I could see them throwing that into their little games. And then if she's been with him for a while, he probably took her to places and she know where certain things are. But I'm just still trying to figure out, where did this $50 million come from? Like even as a lawyer, common sense would be like, he's worth $3 million, you know, and his assets probably gonna be about 12 million, 40, you know, but to get 50?
Get 50?
Like, bruh, 50?
That's a lot of washing and flipping and
Fitty.
Man, listen, that's a haircut. That's the Prezi haircut. So
did Charleston White ever really said why he disliked Shannon Sharpe?
Nah, not really. Let's see if you get into it here. I'm not sure if you get into it here.
He just
always do.
Hold on, y'all. Well, y'all know I got to get on. I got to get on Shannon Sharpe's ass now. Okay. Now, for one, he too mean to the. I already knew he boy too mean to the. I keep telling y'all, I'm the favorite uncle. I'm the uncle that they ain't got no dirt on me. They trying to throw dirt on me. They've been trying to do everything. Now, he been a nigga kind of been hating on me a little bit. Now look at it. Hey, listen, boy, no, maybe he don't know. Maybe this unc is a little lame. I'm the unc with the game. That's why I stay at the strip club, fucking with real hoes. When you dealing with hoes and prostitutes, you ain't got these problems. You dealing with these little bitches just trying to hit a lick. You dealing with a young 20-year-old conniving, manipulative, low down. You all know better, Shannon. Much shit is you talking like you say you won't even get on the elevator with a woman by yourself. How you at the gym and you let this 20-year-old damn near teeny bopper, little old young.
Okay, that's a good spot. Yo,
teeny bopper. He said basically, in a nutshell, give it a lick, how you fell for the Cuban room, bro, where they caught.
So he's thinking he's the lick. So he's the fiend.
You can't spot the sucker. It means you are the sucker. You are the sucker.
But listen though. You don't think he understands what's going on? Everybody's playing their part. What's the name of this podcast? Stay in your lane. He's in his lane, and he expects her to be in her lane.
Right. He expecting too much from, as Charlton said, a conniving person, a person with ulterior motives, recording you when you believe your private moments are private. But like this, like Charlton said, man, you the lick. She hit you for the lick. You understand? He the sucker. It's Tuesday, bro.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah,
all right. So
she got it with the ones.
So you believe in what Charleston just said?
To a certain extent, it's looking like it because the individual is definitely up to her own motive. It appears as though, right? You refuse this number, right? With a bigger number, the 5 with the 0, right? The 5 with the 0, the 50. That is not an arbitrary number. It means that something happened, possibly, right? Highly likely. And she may have a clue. I don't think they're going for the 50 to settle for 10 routine. Right?
Yeah, well.
I'm out there like that. They might be going for 50 to get to like 45. 45.
I'm just saying, if she won a case like this, he gonna make it some serious car payments.
The Sheikh of Dubai, Bentley size payments, yeah. They gonna get them.
Gonna be hanging out at the Louvre.
Breaking the Louvre, trying to steal a Hall of Fame bus after they set it off.
So you believe in Charleston White and his mini rant?
In his rant, making some sense that he it's possibly you the lick. You dealing with somebody who don't got your best interest at heart.
Well, here's the thing: a lot of people don't understand. They don't understand that people think she's taking advantage of him, which she is. People think
taking advantage of each other.
People think he's taking advantage of her.
They both equal opportunity offenders.
But
because
here's the thing: he wants her to take advantage of him.
Yes, he signed up willingly.
That's what makes them do this. It's something that's what like you say,
the twisted
this right. That's the beauty of the fetish that they love.
You think that's what's going on here? It might
Yes. And basically, I don't even know how much activity. I'm not going to say the word that they actually have. It could be very small number. I'm assuming.
That's this person was traveling and moved and lived.
It's about control. A lot of these things are just about control. And that's all it is. And she does certain things where she goes out of order, and he needs to discipline her to bring her back.
You think this might be with the point where it became too toxic now, because now it's probably
no. The thing is, they don't really have a problem. But
they do have a problem.
This is the role things that go on inside of the relationship.
I have a serious problem. So.
Well, no. Well, if I'm just saying that 10 million that they try to settle on changes a lot, because it shows you that he wants to give her something for her time.
You do want to give her, so next time, according to the video.
Yo, think about
Hall of Fame badge.
Yo, let me ask you this. When you know somebody, right, and you don't mess with them no more, do you want them to get $5?
I would much rather them,
Please, you don't want to give them nothing.
Nothing. With the evilness of the Macho Man, nothing.
Ooh, yeah. Dig it.
Ooh, yeah. Dig it. You get nothing.
Man.
No, seriously, man. Extremely prejudiciously, like, you get nothing for real, because when the level of disdain is that high, I mean, you want to see everything burn at that point. I mean, it's human nature.
True.
We're not supposed to be like that, but unfortunately, we are like that. If someone feels as though they've been wrong, they will stop at nothing to right that wrong, especially if they think it might be worth 50 big ones. Right?
50. I don't know where you get the 50 from, but
you understand?
Yep.
That's a body wax. That's Bentley-sized payments. Right? And I think the buzzword looking for the lump. Right? The buzzword is not a bee. He a killer. He a hornet. He one of them hornet. They got to put the thing on him flying back to the nest right now.
Yeah, right now he's not looking that good. He's taking shots too, because
the buzzword. I mean, the buzzword fighting the war on two fronts. Right? The buzzword got the $20 million lineup coming at him. Right? From the biggest music mogul on the planet. Right, as far as hip hop is concerned. So might be looking at Shannon to say, I could boost my coffers with some of this payment money right here. He might, I mean, you gotta look at it from all angles now. I mean, you be imaginative now.
So who's pillow talking Busby?
That's yet to drop, because now remember, well, Busby don't mess with a billionaire. He done hit a billionaire, so you never know what's gonna come out about Busby in the future.
That is true.
Right? That
is true.
Now it's a dude named. We playing questions and answers for a minute. It's a certain guy, from our culture used to say, everybody ain't squeaky clean. Right?
Everybody what?
Everybody ain't squeaky clean. If you dig long enough, you're gonna find something.
Exactly. That's true.
Right?
Yeah, I believe that.
So if Busby like to throw dirt, who's to say somebody else ain't got a pickaxe or a shovel and going after his background right now to see if he's ever done anything?
I think if you're a lawyer, period, you're always gonna have some enemies.
Yep.
If you're a good lawyer, you're gonna have a lot of enemies.
You have a lot of enemies. I mean,
yeah. So that's given. That's given me.
The buzzword already took an L this year, right? For the allegations that went to the billionaire.
Okay. For me, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if I call that an L. Because I believe that whole situation was compromised.
You call that publicity, though.
Well, I think there was a lot of pressure on the back end.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, bro, we spoke off camera earlier.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, like, when it comes to this music shit, it comes to a lot of things going on
There's
higher
a lot
up.
of things the public don't
You start
see.
seeing things now and understand a lot better.
Right.
You know, and people, even with this case, you know, like if you notice, Stephen A. tried to link Busby to the Jay-Z Diddy case, basically to defile his friend Shannon Sharpe's case. That's kind of what it is. Is he's trying to.
Well, yeah, he didn't like the fact that that Shannon mentioned Diddy, because unfortunately nobody can go next to Diddy right now, and it won't be.
No.
Right?
Okay, the way Shannon used it, however,
right? He didn't like the way Shannon used it. That might have made a lot of uncomfortable conversations that they could have probably tolerate, right? But
no. Here's the thing. He had to do that because knowing how the Busby Jay-Z Diddy situation turned out, we found out that it was just a money grab.
Right.
And that's why I said I don't believe it was a money grab. I think it was things going on back there that we never saw because allegedly there were also content creators that was hit up, you know, and to report things a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is what we see in our face is not what really went on all the time. Because you see people all of a sudden changing stories.
Right.
Like they got amnesia and shit.
Like they got a side to protect.
Exactly. Something happened.
Right.
And you say, you know what? Instead of this going on, I'll be a hero. I'm gonna lick my wounds and fight them all. You know what I'm saying? That
part. That he's gonna lick his wounds and fight them all.
And
I mean, he's gonna have some serious licking to do, bro. Some serious licking to do, bro. I hope you like Jello pudding, bro. Because
now, I don't think it's that bad right now.
Well, I mean,
I think
from a business standpoint, he's a grenade right now. Right? From a business standpoint, he's a grenade, bro. Like, think about it. He is done. From a business standpoint, it's like Disney got shareholders, right? Yep. Shareholders care about what the public think because their stock prices tend to revolve around people's opinion, whether we support them, whether we open our wallets.
Okay, here's one thing that we got to check.
Cause that to go south.
Here's one thing we got to check. We got to see how many followers he's lost on Shay Shay. Since if that number keeps going up, because that's what's going to tell you. Because once fans starts leaving, that's when. Let me do that. I'm doing the wrong thing.
Here's another question.
By Elmo. When fans start leaving, the guy up there like, yo, where's the extra money we was getting? What happened?
Exactly.
Then, you know what I'm saying? So if he's on ESPN and the views are up, if he's on and the views are up, they're up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think it's all going to depend on the fans. What the fans decide to do.
So you think it depends on the fans?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's definitely the fans because, like I said,
on Shannon,
if he doesn't lose any like a huge followers on, like for instance, what was the situation happened? The Snoop Dogg situation.
Yeah.
With the whole thing that happened with Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he lost like 1 million followers on his accounts. And that's when you knew it was real. You know what I'm saying? He lost over all 1 million followers just because he was an idiot. It was like, bro, nobody don't care that you did that with Trump, but you got to stand on what you talked about the last time. You came out talking junk, and then all of a sudden you turn around and ran into crypto money. Now, as long as you come honest and real, people gonna deal with you. They don't give a shit about that. But don't swing it one way and then switch it up. Because once you switch it up and people and that's why I ain't gonna go into the whole Drake thing, but people seen him code switch. He goes from culture to culture. So the reason why nobody like for instance, right? Drake is on the cusp right now of beating Michael Jackson for the most number ones on the Billboard Hot 100. He's tied right now with 13. But however, Kendrick Lamar's Luther is blocking that shit. It's been at #1 for over 10 weeks. It's been blocking it, right? So I'm working on a video on my other channel. And
some
it's
bot
about,
farms is working overtime on this issue, or
say that again?
some bot farms is working overtime on this issue when it comes to the records.
Well, here's the thing. There's bots involved in everything. Every song you hear on the radio.
Some bot farms might be working overtime.
Well, here's the thing. Every once in a while, Spotify will do like a cleaning.
Check.
Like you know when you get on a computer and you clear your cache? Every once in a while, they'll go on and clean it. They'll clean out bots, and they could tell what bots stream, and they clean them out.
Allegedly, now they're going after bots like crazy. The algorithm can identify.
But here's the thing. The company has bots itself. they call them algorithms.
Algorithms.
They call them all this other stuff. Like okay, when you're listening to music on your phone, right?
Right.
Whatever, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, anything. Who you think choose the next song if you got that shit on random play?
True.
You know what I'm saying? They'll throw songs in there that they think you're gonna like.
Yeah,
so if a new artist come out and they want to push that song, boom, it's in there. Boom, it's in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So bots push everything.
True.
That's how it works. But there's different bots to do different things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Wow, man. I don't. So let's hear what Charlton got to say. Let's wait what he
Yeah, let's get back to Charleston and his.
Yeah, I ran off the boat for a second there, man.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. Sometimes you gotta just talk it out.
Yeah.
It gets you 50 mil. You offered a pink toe Peckerwood 10 million. Boy, I ain't fucked a white girl about 15, 20 years. What I do fuck a white girl, she gonna be a hoe. About a bona fide hoe. A stomp down hoe. Matter of fact, she might be a porn star or but she ain't gonna be no square bitch. Square bitch, that ain't right. Nigga, come on over here. See, this is why I be in the strip club having fun with them hoes. Cause Jesus kept a hoe named Mary Magdalene. Hoe got to walk with Jesus and his 12 disciples. She didn't get to hang out with the Savior.
What's that?
I will not touch that with a 10-foot.
Yeah, I won't either.
Horse. I'm not touching that.
Only a hoe did. So I know how important a hoe is. You niggas better learn and start appreciate hoe and leave them pretty big.
It's black smoking.
He in the gym working out, looking like a big old black slave with them sweatpants on. Little white girl say you got a baby in your drawer. Girl say your dick is the size of a baby. She called it, come put that big baby, black baby cock in me. She called it a baby.
Wow.
Black cock, black baby cock, whatever she would call it. She called it a baby. Boy got an infant in his drawer. Do you know what you could do, Unc, in the ghetto with an infant size with money and you got fame? You know how much fun you could have in Magic City, Taboo, a booby trap, playhouse, pinups, Onyx, Blue Flames, Strokers, DGs, Dallas Club. I can go on and on and on. Do you know how much fun you can have in them one gray sweatpants, getting a lap dance, no drawers on, rather than being at the gym working out with no drawers on? Nigga, please, you have way more fun, nigga, sitting over there in the corner having drinks, talking talk, yeah, nigga, with them motherfucking sweatpants on, and she can feel that print. Nigga, please, you bullshit. That's why you in trouble now. Come on down back down here to your people. You should have been with your ghetto. I'm telling you, nigga, that's why I said them strip club with them sweatpants on.
So now you hit him with the snow bunny argument. Different perspective.
I ain't gonna lie, man. It's like I understand what he's saying there. I'm gonna say it now because our podcast is still small. But there ain't nothing like a ghetto chick, bro.
Ain't nothing like a ghetto chick, bro. It come with ghetto
like
problems,
street, like whoo.
It
don't matter. They came. They came in different sizes. It didn't matter, bro. Skinny, thick. I mean,
allegedly, it comes with problems. You got to wrap your hands around. You got to get.
Man, they all love that.
Bro.
I haven't met a woman that don't like to be choked, nigga. They all love it.
A situation that didn't require these Hall of Fame grips, these Hall of Fame gauntlets.
Yo, when you grab them, you know what they be like? Oh yeah.
When I see you, bro.
Stay in your lane. That's why we tell you stay in your lane. If you stay in your goddamn lane, you ain't gonna get choked out.
Stay in your lane.
Unk is in his lane.
And the company
Unk's in his lane, bro. The shit just went sideways a little bit.
If you can't spot the sucker, they lined you up for a fade,
No, I don't think so.
$1 fade,
That's what he signed up for. That's what he wanted.
Allegedly.
No, that's what he wanted.
Yeah, Unk was gonna lay down for 10, okay, but they make Unk stand up for 50, bro. They ain't having it. You're not having it, bro. The buzzword is not
allegedly that now. Is it that they were talking about 10? That's what they wanted.
Allegedly, the offer was on the table and extended and ready to, it should have been signed on the day this thing dropped. It was close.
Okay.
But then the terrorists dropped, bro.
Man, those terrorists cost this lawsuit. God damn. Yo, what terrorists are affecting her? She's a hoe.
Hey,
hoes got terrorist problems.
The terrorists, bro. The terrorists hit. It's tax time, man.
Damn.
This $50 million tax bill got to get paid, bro. That's some country's GDP, bro.
Damn. Like I said, man, the 50 mil, I'm still up in the air. I still got to find out what made him agree on that number.
Look,
that's just
the about Bill Cosby, bro. How close were you to the pudding, Shannon? You got it close enough to possibly.
I can smell the flavor. The pudding pop. It smells the flavor.
Unk, man.
Hey, Charleston White already compared Dion to freaking Bill Cosby.
Hey, that's crazy though. But he didn't link him to Bill Cosby of the.
We don't know that. That's what everybody know what Bill Cosby is today. But a lot of people don't remember what he was before.
Prime to Cosby of the one we grew up with. The image of Cosby as opposed to what he became.
Well,
associated with, right? The image of the TV dad, not Bill Cosby. Huxtable. Theodore Huxtable.
Yeah, Huxtable and them kids.
Mr. Huxtable. Right?
All right, ready to get back to Charleston cooking? Because he going in.
Yeah, he cooking, bro. He cooking. He got some grease on the skillet.
Yeah, he got some grease. Let me give you a fire shot.
Big up.
Get some applause to Mr. Charleston.
Monk, you flamed him with that one, bro.
Let's get back in it. Cook it, boy.
I tell you, nigga, that's why I said him over the strip club with them sweatpants on. I don't know how to get it. I know how to ride and reel them in, what? And I can't have it, no problem. As long as I've been having money, having fun, tiptoeing and cross-country pimping, you ain't heard nobody complain about Unc Stewart. Unc is a real live player in a Mac Jack. And you niggas better stop trying to get free. Diddy had the right idea. Fly him in, pay him, freak with him, and let him go. Diddy had the right. Now since Diddy gone, y'all don't know what to do. Y'all don't know how to get no more. Since they don't like Diddy gone. Yeah, I still know how to Mac, nigga. I still know how to Mac, nigga. Yeah, Mac on, nigga. I still know how to play, player. Yeah, all they had to do is give me a little money, nigga. And shit, I'm telling you, yeah, Diddy gone, and y'all don't know how to get on your own no more. Look at you, boy. In the workout gym, looking like.
Oh no.
Conto. Big black lady. That's what she look like, Shannon. Big old black lady. Yeah. with that Lily white girl. They go get you one. You man, you done up. I don't know what you done. Listen, they got skipped too. Don't feel bad, nigga. They got skipped too. They got skipped with an old with a jaw. The bitch wasn't with it. See, y'all want to go, man, yeah, y'all, man, them hoes with it. Them hoes with it. I'm telling you, nigga, my uncle taught me about hoes. Yeah, my uncle taught me about my grandmama one. Say, listen. No, nigga. Listen.
Hold on.
You in trouble. You say.
Yo, he just says grandmama a hoe?
He said my granddaddy told me about my grandmama.
He's a hoe too.
Hey, but he low-key dropped some advice in there, man. He said, I don't know how you got caught up with that, man. He's saying you should know better. You should have known better. I mean, to me, he got lined up, man. He got lined up. Because he's claiming that the audio is nothing like that. He said release the full 10 minutes. But that, Charleston,
I believe that.
He should have spent his money in the hood and get the discount.
Let him finish up, but this video is almost done. Let him finish, then we'll get back to it.
You go choke a big black man choke a white girl. All right. You made me think about that movie Samuel L. Jackson played in, Black Snake Moan, when he had that little white girl tied up. Get you. They go treat you just like they did Michael Vick when he was. Just think about this, Shannon. Boy, that ghetto. Her mind can't even think 50 million, nigga. But them girls down at them strip club where I be hanging and fishing it, they can't even think 50 million. They even get mad at it. They say, I want them for 50 million. Nigga, you could have watched this for 50,000 in the ghetto. Right. What happened when you leave? What happened when you go across the railroad track and be over there, nigga say, nigga 50 million? Bitch, how you even come up with that? Who you been? Nigga guy, I don't even know a lawyer that even think 50 million. They would have been trying to shake a nigga down for $1 million or $2 million. Here you go, bitch. And still been fucking. Yeah, man, you saw what Ike turned.
Ooh, that's a haircut.
See, he kind of ended that exactly the way we were talking about it. Like, where did they come up with that number, the 15 million?
Where did that number from? I'm telling you, man. Hey, look, if Unc ain't said it directly, Unc might have said it indirectly, bro. Because that number, they just pulled a number out of our, where did the number come from?
I don't know where the hell it came from, but
because Unc must feel like Medea. Say it again. Say 50 again. Say it again. Right? Because, like you said, that's enough to make you.
So
right?
he's still in play mode.
50? Oh man.
Well, now it's 50. I'm pretty sure he might have straightened up a little bit.
Ooh, he got the silverback stance, he got
Yeah, man. Somebody came into the camp or walking up into the camp.
Hey man, Unc about to go back. He about to fall back to the man bags, bro, with the sheet.
The brown man bag. I think he good, man. I think
man.
Like I said, bro, we in 2025, man.
It clipped him at a critical time, man.
The way the culture accepts so many things today than it did years ago amazed me every time. So this is something you got to see how it play out.
Yeah.
Like I said, the Totally Busby kills the whole credibility argument. So you look at it from a different eye.
He is a lawyer, man. He is a lawyer.
Yeah, but because of the situation that just transpired, it leaves a credibility thought in the back of your mind. Even if she's 100% right, she's losing because she picked the wrong lawyer to represent her because of his past
credibility issues.
Right now, we're all crediting. What did he tell her to put up 50 million? Like, what is the game? Right. Because of course, if she wins 50 million, he gets more money.
So you think 50 million is just a number to make this allegation seem as serious as what's being alleged? Why they chose 50 million?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's a scare tactic to say, "Oh, this big number."
They go 10 right now.
It's big.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you looked it up. He's worth $3 million.
Right.
So where the hell he's going to get $50 million from?
Well, how is he going to give a 10 though?
That's a good point. Okay.
That's 70%, bro. That's above you, 70% above the sea level.
Wait. Hold on. Wait. Well, let me find it. Let me find it.
Allegedly.
How did he? How was he gonna give up 10, bruh? Okay.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. I gotta understand how these numbers gonna come together, dog.
Another one.
Another one.
Yo, that's a good point that you brought up, man. How was he gonna come up with 10? Now, of course, I'm sure it would have been paid out over time. That's how a lot of these things are. They aren't just straight up. It wasn't going to be a one-time payment.
One time lump, and you're never gonna see Unc again.
Nah, I ain't think it's going to be a one-time lump. I think it would have been worked out over payments. You know, but he's definitely in a
job at Shay Media or something.
Nah. Them guys, you don't. I'd rather give you 50 million than give you 2% of Shay. You know what I'm saying? Because you know on the back end what that means.
Yes.
It's like 2% of a writing credit on a Kendrick Lamar album.
I can see Unc now.
You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of money on the back end. This dude still got he got an album that's been on the chart for over 250 weeks.
Skip, we're gonna say Suckers on 3. Suckers on 3.
Sucker what?
Suckers on 3. Suckers on 3. If you don't know who the sucker is, well,
the Suckers.
It was a trap.
I don't know if you could say it was a trap.
Bro, it was a.
So you think she went into
bro, they tried to get
she went into this relationship want just for money?
It's possible, man. It's seeming.
Yeah, but 50 mil though.
If
he was giving her money, that was her sugar daddy.
They were allegedly in a relationship.
That was her sugar daddy.
Right? Yeah,
he gave her money. He was in a regular relationship.
He was Uncle Zaddy. You know, he was
right. So that's what I'm saying. She was getting free money from him anyway, and he enjoyed doing that.
Possibly, however, whatever she was getting ain't 50.
Yeah, but you know what? So here's one question that you got to think about. I wonder how much money he gave her just naturally.
How generous? Must not have been that generous.
No. She's okay. Usually when people sue, it's because they're losing something they had.
She lost something, bro. Allegedly.
No, she lost a little ear, but he was financially taking care of her so well that now that he stopped, she's feeling the effects. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said,
the other video put a stop to that because that's when she became aware of the situation that she wasn't the only one.
What other video?
The audio. The audio that he had the first run-in with.
Mm-hmm.
IG Live audio.
Yeah.
Right? So when that dropped, allegedly.
Well, you know she was in the room. All three of them was together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got to show you that video. Yeah, there's a lot of, and that's what I'm telling you.
Allegedly.
They talked about it. I think she had something to do with why the video leaked. But yeah, she was also involved. That's what I'm telling you. It's a very different.
Control your yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of things going on behind closed doors.
The shit down, bro.
Well,
he got
not necessarily. Not necessarily.
I don't know, man.
I'm pretty sure there are certain things he could say to her to make her drop that lawsuit.
I don't know, man. Buzzword
usually that's how it is, and sometimes it's just a simple apology, like just admitting you did this or did that, and they drop that shit because at the end of the day, it don't really come down to the money. It's about respect.
Power and control.
You know what I'm saying? So if he did what she claimed he did,
that's despicable.
Then you have to understand her, even though it was consensual, there's rules, and he crossed those rules.
According to how the game was set up on the text message exchange. Or the
right.
interactions were looking.
Right. So
according to how the interactions were looking on the text message.
So they have these relationships where it's like I don't know how to put it, because there's certain things you don't want to put
mildly as possible.
But yeah, there are things where you may not think it's right.
It's weird.
They do it anyway. It's what
right.
makes them feel good. It's their fix. It's
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And everything that's happened is showing me that this is a hard case to prove, because even in the messages,
right,
when one was upset about something,
mm-hmm.
the other one was not upset because they were still playing. It was just that one got offended,
right?
Because there was a situation as well where she had her location on or something like that, and he didn't want her location on, and it got a spat over that. And it's one of these things where she would turn her location off to be a brat, because her way of getting punished is, so at the end of every punishment comes gifts. You know what I'm saying? Because after she gets punished, she has to make up for, being a bad daddy. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm telling you. There's certain things in there when you look in, you're like, whoa.
If you know, you know, so to speak.
Right. I'm gonna mind my business and stay in my lane.
Right.
However, when you think of the court system of a legal level,
the optics,
they all understand it's a he say, she say thing.
So you think the optics is a he said, she said situation?
Yes. So it's better for him to try to settle this than go to court, because once you go to court, you run into that phase which we're going to run into the same with Drake and UMG. It's called discovery.
Right.
And this guy gonna find out he a freaky ass nigga.
And all that's gonna do is they love him or hate him more, but from a business standpoint, he's finished. His product is only gonna be good in the hood if they don't cancel him.
Yeah, he gonna gain some fans. Gonna get some Trojan fucking
he might have to go back and get his old buddy.
Nah, he gonna be fine. Like I said, all we're going to pay attention to is the fans. If the fans stay stagnant like the way it's been, nothing's going to change. But the minute all these shows he's on start losing rating and people start saying, I'm not going to watch that anymore because Shannon's on it, boom, he's out of there.
So what you think his old buddy going to say about that?
Who?
His FS1 bros.
Man, he's hoping Shannon come back to FS1. No, he actually, did he get fired?
He's on his own thing.
Right. But he's hoping to get Shannon. Even a tainted Shannon is still better than anything he has. Yo, Skip is down low, bro.
Skip down?
Yeah.
Skip needs some
resurrection. He lost everything, man. That was the worst decision he ever made, and he haven't recovered after that.
So he still got 5 fans on the tube?
I'm not sure how many he got. He got a couple of, I would say a couple of 100,000 or so.
Couple thousand? Hold on. Wait. We
what's his part?
He's number 1, and this guy
look up Skip Bayless. See if you can look him up. See if you can pull up a pod or anything for him, and see what comes up. Because even on YouTube, he has a channel, but I know for a fact that it wasn't close to nowhere where Shannon's was. Because Shannon's over 1 million. I think heading towards 2 possibly.
Skip Bayless podcast numbers. Let's see. Skip Bayless Show, a weekly podcast hosted by Skip Bayless, has a rating of 4.4 million on Apple Podcasts. So he has a rating of 4.4 million.
No. Go on.
No, I'm sorry. YouTube. A rating of 4.4 on Apple Podcasts based on 900 ratings. Right? It's ranked as 187 in the U.S. sports football category.
I'm talking about viewers.
Let's see. Listener numbers. It's YouTube viewers or?
Well, viewers, period. I mean, even if you look on YouTube, it'll show you. Yeah, do YouTube because we'll compare it to Club Shay Shay.
I know he was losing badly. Let's see.
Which I believe started way after Skip already had his podcast.
Right.
But that's one of these crazy things, man. When you look at these cats, so it's crazy because one other thing that
121,000 viewers is his average. This is still below the viewership of his.
How many followers he got? How many subscribers?
How many subs?
Yeah.
Let's see. I probably got to look at his channel though. Let me look at his channel.
Yeah, that's one of those things where.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
What you found it or no?
I'm looking at it right now. Skip Bayless viewership numbers, right?
Yeah.
Let me pull up his channel.
If y'all watching us on Rewind, let me know where y'all checking in from in the world.
For sure.
East Coast, West Coast, Caribbean, Europe, South America.
Let's see. Viewers 1.5 million.
No, subscribers.
I'm looking. They don't say the subs.
If you hit on the channel, it'll tell you right there.
Yeah, I'm on the channel.
Yeah, there should be a number there somewhere.
Oh, 9.92 million.
It ain't million, bro. It got to be K.
Well,
he don't have more viewers than Sharpe Shay Shay. More subs.
Hold on. Trying to get this. Maybe this is an off channel. Oh,
but he's a dying breed, so
yeah,
we only pretty much answer it. What's next for Shannon Sharpe? And like I said, it's all about what the fans do.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I think it's more than the fans, man. I think he will hurt his case by keep speaking on it. You know?
Why is his lawyers? Well, here's the thing.
They allowed him to talk.
Here's the thing. Yes, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said earlier, in 2025, things have ever since 2024.
221,000 subscribers. If I had the wrong channel, that's why.
225,000.
221,000 K.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I know he had a way lower number.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's pretty much
done.
Compared to. And here's the thing: he was the big dog on the show. Shannon was just.
Shannon. He was Batman in that. No,
right.
Robin. In that.
And the way he treated him on the way out was even worse. And you look at him now. Look at me now. Look at me now.
Yeah, Skip. Why you have to go there, Skip? Why you gotta go there, Skip?
Put your goddamn glasses back on.
I'm in the effing Hall of Fame, Skip.
Put your glasses back on.
Skip, hold on now.
Put your glasses back on.
Yeah, see, Skip, you got pickle for your man Brady.
Put your goddamn glasses back on, boy.
What you mean put it?
That's what I was finna say.
Hall of Fame, Skip.
That's what I was finna say.
Broski.
So what's next for Shannon on your part?
I think the $100 million is definitely out of the question. I think he is damaged goods from a corporate standpoint as of right now. Right?
Yeah.
Because to me, from a business standpoint, they can look at like, look, you offered $10 million to make it go away. You've been compromised in some way, shape, or form. And for advertisers, man, some advertisers might not be comfortable with that. Sponsorships and stuff, as we learn more, right? It's not going to get pretty, I believe, because I don't think that the other side of it is going to say we're going to release less damaging information. We're going to doctor it less to make it appear a certain way. They're not going to do that. They're going to put their foot on his neck.
True.
And it's going to get uglier to the point where businesses might be uncomfortable. Like, yo, this guy's a no fly, no touch. Right?
Well, I wanted to pull up the comments, but my screen is so small I can't read them on this video. But this is how you're gonna kind of tell what's gonna happen with Shannon on videos and stuff like that. Start reading the comments and see what people are saying in the comments, and that will literally give you. You remember the video this one we just watched?
Yeah.
Even a regular Shannon video, pull it up and start reading the comments and see what people are saying. I'm gonna go out on a limb, right?
Yeah.
Let me zoom in because.
Wait. Shannon got fired? Hold on. I hope not. Let me see. Let me make sure. Let me see.
You gotta be careful. There's so much clickbait on here.
Right. Let me just make sure. I don't want to go speaking arbitrarily now.
Why they said it?
No, I want to go see.
But
it's like 2 days ago, so no, I didn't. No, as of right now, there's no indication. Okay.
no, he's not gonna get fired. Like I said, until the fans start moving. Here, okay, let me say something for a minute. So I'm gonna go out on a limb, right?
Right.
And I'm gonna say Shannon's gonna double what he was gonna get before.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
When all this, yep, I believe that.
You think when it's all said and done?
Yep. Because I just think that where we are right now, when it comes to this situation, we're in a whole different place, and
a whole different era.
Let me get that up here. Yeah, I think we're in a whole different place, and it's gonna come with credibility type thing.
You think so?
Yeah, and when you start looking at some of these things, if people start talking bad about Shannon, like he's this and that, like a lot of negative stuff, and you eventually see it start bleeding into things. And once that start affecting corporate, well, we got to make a move.
Right now, I think every CEO, when it comes to him, is like this. Gas.
Stephen, you walk him out. Stephen, you brought him in. Stephen, show him the door, please. I guarantee.
And he goes, hey, he made this $50 million last month. Bring him back. Come.
He's going to cost us about 150 more.
I'm telling you, right now, that's how they feeling right now. They're in the gas chamber right now. They're forgive the G word. They're in the cultural chamber right now, and it's very smoky in there.
So we're gonna wrap it up.
I believe they're a bit panicked.
We're gonna wrap it up.
Right now. You know, what was the Chris Rock movie where they brought Chris Rock in the big conference room, dropped the quarter on the table and told him, hey, this quarter represents your contribution to this company. Right?
I remember that.
And then the boss went on to say, in essence, you're gonna lose a lot of money chasing the choke. I mean, chasing down the choke. But you ain't never gonna lose money. Right? Chasing your nightcap, chasing your first take, chasing your bag. But
I believe she's gonna lose this case.
I don't know, bro. Even if she does, right? I mean, who knows how the legal system is? There's many perspectives. Who knows how they see it? But even if he does somehow manage to reassemble his image, the perception is there now that he's somehow damaged goods, tainted, questionable. Because this is not incident one, this is incident two that the public has been made aware of, and he's a public figure. So we know controversy sells. However, who is going to be willing to back something that has now been is now questionable?
Right? Hey, like I said, the culture's been
the age range is so large. Right? Some people are saying, "Hey, what is this age range? Like, what are you doing?" You know, and it's been alleged that some people close to him have mentioned it casually or whatever. Mm-hmm. But that's one perspective, right? So advertisers now they're gonna be hesitant. They don't want to be associated with that from a business standpoint. That's one part to consider, right? He's still gonna be popular as hell, get a lot of views. He might get a lot of YouTube money, but he may never be able to cross that next plateau, so to speak. Because I mean, he was giving opportunities to other people. There's dudes out there that ate because he put them on. You know what I mean? So all that stuff he's doing with Shay Media is in jeopardy, or may be slowed down or have to stop.
Well, the thing about YouTube is you control your own thing too. So he's always going to eat off of YouTube. So you don't need that corporate. Once you got good YouTube, and he's got over 2 million. I think he might have 2 million followers.
But he don't necessarily own YouTube, man. You know, he
ain't. What are you trying to own it for?
Well, I mean, he's not getting the bag. The real bag
is he is
the distribution.
Yo,
right? His first
once you get monetized, you getting paid, bro.
Right. But
he got videos that got millions of views.
Yeah, but is he making $100 million from YouTube?
Yes, it's possible. Bro, the Cat I did a breakdown of the Cat Williams
email
thing on how much Mr. Beast makes over 250 million a year on YouTube.
So hold on. So you think it's possible that she was privy to some of that information? Why the number is so high?
Well, that's the thing with YouTube, it fluctuates. You know what
I'm
saying? I know just off the Cat Williams video, he made a lot of money, bro. They was talking about at least $1 million or $2 million.
Right. So
and he broke that video up too, where they spliced it up for reactors and everything. So those videos had millions. Yeah. So what they did was they took the 2 hours and 45 minute interview, cut it up in 4 segments. Then they cut those 4 segments in other segments. So they had clips ready for everybody. So they got massive amount, but yeah, they made a killing on that, bro. So if you get in millions of views, because you get paid every 1,000 views, so they figure out, because no one on YouTube get paid the same. Everybody makes something different because
based on your reach,
we can both make a video about the same thing, and your video could be getting paid more than my video. Because it all depends on how you present it, how much information is in there, and all of that plays into an effect, and you get 70% of the commercial. YouTube gets 30%.
Okay.
Makes sense. When it comes to that stuff, once you get monetized and shit. But yeah, that's how it pays. So he's getting a full amount of money, and then he ain't got to deal with nothing to get monetized. That goes to the record labels. That's why I do on my other channel, I do some reaction for music, but I don't do a whole lot of music because you don't get paid for it. So if it's a favorite artist, we'll just do it for the views and for the channel.
Right. And that's not going to generate anything.
Well, you don't get any money from it, but you will get followers and people like to tap in, So we just when I do a K-Dot reaction, I do it because I like it. Or I want to do it. When I did the Drake reactions, I wanted to do the song, so I did it, and got a real reaction. So you already know going in, you ain't gonna get paid. But the last Drake reaction I did get paid. They didn't mind it. They didn't block it.
No,
it was the Nokia video.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
sounds like the algorithm has an agenda.
No, that's coming from corporate. Because what happened during the battle, Kendrick pulled the copyright off of all his music during the battle. So
Really?
he allowed reactors to react to it and got paid. Yes. And that's why Drake put that in the lawsuit. He put reactors into the lawsuit.
Woo.
Because he claimed that UMG replaced UMG basically took away the copyright so more people can react to, not like us, to defame him basically. But that was kind of a thing because Push Ups, which was one of his songs, never got claimed. So he kind of debunked that. You know what I mean? All my stuff got copy claimed. But if you did them when they first came out, and I think I did mine maybe a day after it came out, but I got hit with copyright. But some people got paid. But yeah, man, it's a nice check too. You make the views, and the watch time. Yeah.
So you get hit with a copyright because of that? That's crazy.
Yeah, but going in, we already know we're gonna get copyright. We ain't doing it for the copyright. We just try to come up with the best reaction video because when you want to look at certain videos or certain things or find out what's going on in the songs, you listen to a reaction.
Right.
And they'll usually break down the bars and tell you who they talking about.
Yeah.
What's the situation. So that's things I like to get into. So I'll react to stuff and you learn a lot too.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Mean, it's a triple entendre, but why is it a triple entendre?
Right.
And then you learn like, well, he's talking about this, this, and this. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. And yeah, it's pretty neat. And I just watched a video on DJ Academics where he talked about what Kendrick did was smart because if you think about it, reactors are the ones reviewing the music.
Right.
So why not let reactors get the shit for free? Because they publicizing the artist.
They're gonna push it.
Like if a new song come out, the first thing you're gonna go is your favorite, whoever your favorite reactor is, you're gonna tune into him and be like, boom.
You know, that's true. In the content world, yeah, you can run to your favorite reactor, right? You might pull up the Cove and see, let me see what the Cove got to say. Or,
exactly.
You know
so you check it out and instead of them paying us to do that,
right?
They copyright it so we don't get paid. So ever since the Drake lawsuit, now you've seen a lot of people don't react to a lot of stuff unless the fans ask for it.
So Kendrick did it for the culture, so to speak.
Right. Everybody reacted to Kendrick. Whole album. He did a full live stream. So you know he's gonna get copyright. So why just do a whole fucking album? You know what I mean? And off that album, you may get 200-300 new subscribers coming in. Just from that video.
From that video alone, right?
Right, into your subscribe catalog. So that's why people do it. But it would make sense if the labels drop that against our reactors because we're more help to them than hurt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me get my angle right here. This sunlight killing me. I don't want to. That natural light you warned me about is getting me.
We coming in on 2 hours now, so we're gonna end this soon. Man. But that was our first.
Hey man, it was a great show, man. It's a pleasure, linking up after a little break.
First episode of Stay in Your Lane. Mind your business. So, what'd you learn from the Charleston White video? What did you learn from watching this when it comes to staying in your lane?
When it comes to staying in my lane, it means that you stay in your lane is pretty much from how it would be perceived in this situation is that we were all raised on certain things, certain principles, right? Certain belief systems. You act a certain way. Football players in particular have a code. If you had a good coach, you were Hall of Fame, it means you have a code. And I think Unc didn't stay in his lane in this case because he got lined up. He got an audio being compromised, and it's going to be very hard for him to not now get out of this situation unscathed. He offered up allegedly 10 big reasons why she should go away, and she countered with 50. So I think in this case, man, you know, Unc should have stayed in his lane, followed that code that got him the gold jacket. Instead, you know, them Unc tendencies from the hood pop up, bro. You know, you got lined up. So hopefully, you know, from our culture's perspective, we learn from this. We learn that we can't keep putting ourselves in situations like this, you know, because it gives those people who are looking to validate those types of behaviors, you know, and associate them with people like us. It gives them more ammunition for them to run with, you know. And from a cultural perspective, you know, I didn't do us or himself any favors. And also, you know, his boy looked out, vouched for him, you know, brought him to the big arena, gave him the opportunity. And unfortunately, it's all that hard work might be in question right now. You know?
I don't see it like that.
No,
because even though look what he's done after he's left Skip Bayless, he's been on a run.
Been on a run, but he didn't have that thing on him now, though. He didn't have this out there, you know. Now it's
actually, you know what she even talked about? He had a dog leash on her too, a dog collar.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we can get into that in another episode. Like I said, it's the rabbit hole goes deep, very, very deep.
Play the sound effect. He had a what on it?
A collar. Wait, hold up. Yeah, man. Like I said, they had a lot going on, bro. A lot. They had a lot going on. That's what I'm saying. You got to read all the stuff, man, and look into it. And once you start getting into it,
you have to revisit because I think somebody did a little bit too much of this.
Yeah, you start like, bro.
And they came out with 50 big reasons why.
And that's why I'm not totally against him on this thing, because there's a lot of moving parts. And when that so-called Instagram live dropped, she was there. Yeah, I read some reports where they were there, and one of them was like,
allegedly, they all know about the situation.
Well, they were all together that night, type thing, allegedly. Oh, wow. So yeah, it's so it kind of tells you that, you know, there's a lot of things being covered up too.
Right.
Because other people are involved. So that's why I think the whole lawsuit thing was okay. It's better to prove, because if discovery goes into effect, they're gonna find out a lot of things, because everybody got to come clean. So now you're gonna find out it probably was 4 people involved.
You gotta lay out the issues, and it may get more complicated than it appears to be right now.
Exactly.
So from a cultural perspective, man, how far back do you think this set the culture back? Because Unc is a prominent figure.
Not at all.
Charleston White is up there with the.
This ain't setting the culture back. How would this set
He's up there with the Pudding Pop fellow, bro. He's in the Pudding Hall of Fame right now. You know what I'm saying?
I saw one with Dr. Umar where he came out defending Shannon.
He stand by him, right? Mr. Snow Bunny, Mr. Snow Bunny hated standing by Shannon. How much weight do you think that had though in the culture, from a cultural perspective? Because he's
the
also
Shannon thing. I don't think it probably would have hurt us 10 years ago, but I don't think it's. I'm gonna have to go really look at it, but I don't see any negativity coming back from anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's not possible. This is one of many that's gonna pop out.
Because even people that be like looking at him sideways, ain't talking shit. All they saying is like, "Yo, why you messing with that young chick?"
Yes.
Nobody's saying you shouldn't be doing that.
Right. Well, I mean, it gives me pause. You know, it gives me pause because, you know, we not 20 years old. But when you have money, man, the world look a lot different. And that's
that ain't no different than Drake keep running around with 18-year-olds.
That's when you gotta stick to your code. You gotta have some type of code, because you know how low is too low. Right?
Listen, as far as we know, everything was consensual.
True.
Till it wasn't.
Right.
When did it change? Like I always tell my kids,
right.
I don't ever want to see you at a riot. Ever. I said a riot.
You got dad dragging you on camera.
A riot is good, right? It's not a riot. I said a riot. A protest.
A protest?
Yes.
Why not?
I always tell them I don't ever want to see him at a protest because at some point it turns from a protest to a riot. When does that happen? Because at some point somebody throws a chair and some ninja shit happens.
Or possibly some paid actors get, you know.
Yeah, and it goes from what's the
peaceful demonstration to
no, it goes from we gonna be all right, right?
Mayhem. Everybody out, the party done, or let's go home.
Yo, it goes from that to violence. Think about every and I always tell them that at some point it changes, and you have to figure out when it's time to leave, because the thing is with niggas, right? They always show up late, right?
Right.
So, right. So now the niggas show up to tear down the house.
Yeah.
And it will get torn down. And then you know what the thing about ninjas are? We gotta call them ninjas.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit about going to jail.
Right. Because they ain't got nothing.
They just did to ruin your day.
They ain't got nothing left to look forward to, you know. So hey,
nothing.
You gonna feel what I feel in this case? A whole lot.
They cousins up in there. They happy to be going home.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a meal tonight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, that's what we kind of coming to, man.
Yeah, man. You know, I mean, like they said, the Me Too thing ain't really over, man. A lot of people are working angles to this situation. You know, they're working. They got different angles they're working, and Unc should have known that something wasn't right. Right? He should have known that, you know, there's a possibility that things could go south, and he took no measures to protect himself. And as he said, he walked into a trap. And how could you not spot the sucker, bro?
Well, they say what? Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Hate the game. And boy, did she put a game out that day. It's fourth quarter.
I don't think, like I said, I'm not sure if she was playing a game.
Few moments later.
All right, put it like this. Do you think he can get courtside seats right now and put on that famous mask he be wearing? You think if he was to show up right now, right there, would he let him get courtside seats? Right?
I think so.
If the king, if he showed up in the king's house, courtside, and throw on the goat mask.
Okay, here's the thing.
Do the whole thing and sat down.
Here's the thing.
Would they let him?
Did he know the king before this?
I have no idea what his relationship to the king actually is.
If we're talking about people he already knew, then yeah.
I don't know what his actual relationship with the king is. Allegedly, he's a paid service provider. You know, by the king's media machine pays him, you know, allegedly compensates him for work, promotional work. Right? I don't know how true that is, but that's been alleged. So basically, the goat mask comes out from time to time. You know, that was in a previous situation, but are they taking his phone calls right now? Right? If he pull up and say, "Yeah, I'm in the house, courtside," will they let him? Will they let the camera be all on him? Like, yeah, that's Mr. So and So. Right? That's the test. To me, that's one of the critical tests. And he said he's gonna be out there, so we'll see.
I just pulled up his YouTube. I'm trying to see what his
His
subscribers.
viewership is. So I don't know. More than likely.
Okay, so here's one.
Yeah, man. I mean, by all accounts, everyone is saying that audio is disturbing. It's questionable. It's causing people to feel, dis-ease, some type of.
Look here, this is what I'm talking about, right?
Mm.
It's just I went right to Shay,
Mm-hmm.
and I pulled up the Terrence Crawford teaches Shannon Sharpe how to box video.
Yeah.
Right? I pulled that up.
Mm-hmm.
And the first, and I just go any video he has, go into the comments and see what they're saying. And basically the first comment a day ago, the OG fan base still support you, Unc. First comment.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. You don't see any negative comments.
Yeah. Man, let's see. TMZ got a lot of views, right? Let me see what they comment section is.
Yeah, it's like that's what I'm saying. Let me go on another thing too is you got to hit people that.
Hey. All right. On TMZ, right? At Little Jacob, right? Said there is no fool like an old fool, right? Evidently, Shannon is the classic example of this. Come on, dog. The internet is brutal, bro. Brutal.
Right, but look at the comments though. They're not killing him. They're just making fun of him.
Hey, look, man.
Read another one.
Man, yeah, they making fun of him, all right.
Like listen to this one. Listen to this one. It says it's amazing how Unc schooled Ocho for not being professional, and since then
gonna say that.
It is the one incident after another. One incident after another. For real, yo.
Yeah.
He's up 2-1. Or maybe they tie 2-2.
One dude said S-class bus _bus on TMZ said, he said, them snow bunnies get you every time. Them snow bunnies will track you down, footprints in the snow. You got lined up, bro. You got lined up. Bro. And then a lot has happened.
Oh, we had somebody that came in. White Mike, White Milk. You can see the comment.
Huh?
You can see the comment on the screen. Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a few comments earlier. Somebody came and was watching. I didn't even notice.
Oh man, someone said we're working with Satan here. So
and then they had this one.
I mean, who is Satan here in this case?
You're a black
supremacist.
Damn right I am.
If you mean we want to see black people prosper, same way we want to see every other people prosper.
So what's wrong with black people?
Yeah.
Hey, come back, bro. I didn't even see it in there. We could have had a good conversation. But yeah, a couple of people have been coming in and out.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's not us, man. I'm just playing devil's advocate as far as how it's going to look from a business standpoint. I mean, you guys.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, when you read the comments, they're going to tell you.
Yes,
like,
yes.
If the comments is like, "Oh, he's despicable. He's so disgusting," that will basically be like, "Oh." But these are like, okay. This one says, "My grandmother used to say, if you don't be careful, you'll become the person you despise the most."
Yeah. So you're right. If you don't be careful, yes, you will become the person you despise the most. You got to be careful. You need people around you, man. He need to have a,
and that's what I'm saying.
He looking like, questionable.
1 minute of lust can destroy what a man took a lifetime to build.
Facts. You can tear that down in
These
30
are all
seconds.
comments. Yeah.
Right? I mean, we all saw a great example of that at the Oscars, didn't we not? We ain't gonna touch that subject, but yeah. You know, a lifetime worth of work, and you know,
hey, like these shits is like, you'll never lose a woman chasing money, but
yes,
you'll lose money chasing a woman.
chasing a woman, yeah. And that's what they told Chris Rock in the movie. They put a quarter on the table and showed him, this is your contribution to the company. Right? The quarter is you, the table is the company. And then they told him, you're never gonna lose money chasing your business, but you lose a lot of money chasing women. So Unc fell for the haircut, bro. He unfortunately he got to sit in the presidential chair and deal with this one. You know, you're gonna have to make some executive decisions. You know, which hand is he gonna wrap around this situation, bro? You know what I'm saying? You gotta think about it, because public perception is everything.
So you think like for instance, the question Mike White Milk asks, what's wrong with black people? Is he talking about like how you brought it up earlier, and you said that he's possible staying in the black community?
Unfortunately, because he's a prominent figure who has a lot of trust, right? Who's perceived to be clean, right, unblemished. He was still the shiny toy in the box. You know, he is the man of the moment, so to speak, for the last 2 years, right? It's very rarely now, right? Everyone sided with Shannon and not Skip. And Skip had the larger body of work, a legit journalist.
Yep.
Skip looked like the grouchy old dude in that situation, right?
But at the same thing, Shannon Sharpe's a Hall of Famer.
Right.
And when you come through the athlete world, it's different.
It's different.
You know what I mean?
You get a pass for a lot of things, right?
A journalist got to earn his stripes, where an athlete just walk in. Yeah. Everybody love him.
Everybody love him.
The woman love him because he got extra muscle. Yeah. And the man love him because he won them the game last week.
Hey, all the muscles got to lay their head down, bro. Be careful where you sleep at, bro. Be careful where you lay your head, man.
Yeah, we gonna end it with that one. Be careful where you lay your head. Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane, man.
No pillow talk. So we gonna end it there.
If it's out of your age group.
We gonna see y'all next week with another one. We out.
We out.
Yeah.